we are, Sonicstate at Superbooth 2019 with Dave from Behringer.
Howdy.
And look what we got over here. It's the 909, and we can hear it now. But before we go on, look here. The 808 is going to be shipping very, very soon, isn't it?
Correct. We're hoping to get that shipping to our distributors at the end of this month, so that's the end of May.
Amazing.
Yeah, exciting times, very exciting times.
Absolutely, and what's really interesting about both of these is that rather than slavishly copying the original in terms of workflow, they're full of new features, and ostensibly both same in terms of workflow?
Yeah, so we designed the two of them together in terms of the UX and the workflow, and we looked at both the original 808 and the 909 and tried to take the best of the features from both of those units, combine them into one thing and really present the best of both units in like a new, kind of slightly more modern and easy to use workflow than the original units, yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I think what we'll do first though is have a listen. Can you just go through the drums and just individually let's have a little listen?
So kick drum, let's go. We've added a couple of extra, let's give you a bit more level there. We've added an extra couple of parameters in here, the main one being the pitch decay.
Oh yeah.
The pitch depth. And that's the kind of decay that goes with it. So yeah, the classic kick drum sound, snare, we're all familiar with. Nice and bright when you want it to be, short. And the pitch that goes with it. Nice woody sound.
Yeah.
Toms.
They sound great.
The rim shot, hand clap. Yeah, a bit more level on this. Hi-hats, samples, and the cymbals. Yeah,
amazing.
So that's the sounds.
Okay, so let's go through some of the kind of unique features about it.
Yeah, so a couple of the things that we kind of threw in there that weren't on the original units. A lot of this kind of live performance stuff. So I run a sequence. The note repeat's one of those things. So with the note repeat, this kind of gives you a note on the selected voice for each step. And then these are the dividers for the note repeat. So if it's on one, so we've got the rim shot selected there, that's going to produce one note for every step on the rim shot channel. If you do two, it's two per step. And as you speed up to 4 and 8, you can kind of produce these super fast, neat little rhythms. And if you get up to 8, start producing like little tones almost, depending on the tempos that you're kind of running at. We've been using that to drive external synths as well to re-trigger envelopes and things really fast, and that's a nice little feature.
Cool.
And then the step repeat, which you may have seen on a couple of other kind of sequences and sims, something we just felt is a modern kind of feature now, and it's something you really need.
Yeah, like a ratcheting.
Yeah, so this is basically looping around a number of kind of sub-steps of the sequence. So we've got 16 steps running on the sequencer here. If we just wanted to run through 8, so that's just running through now, as you can see on the 8, and then you can 2.
Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, right, okay.
So you can kind of do, the little loops, mutes and solos, just to kind of take things in and out of the mix. It's kind of like it's really been nice for demoing that actually, to be able to just kind of show people things really quickly and just, if you just want to get in again, say I was demoing the pitch for instance, you can just get in, isolate it, come back out. It's kind of a really nice thing. The polymeter is something that we have. I think that's kind of critical for, modern kind of drum machines and modern sequences now. Like if it doesn't do polymeter, it's something that, the evolution of a kind of big kind of poly patterns is something that people kind of expect now.
Yeah.
Tempo and swing, granted. Probability is one where we kind of have a deeper editor for the probability. So per voice, you can kind of go in and decide which steps. So rather than just deciding which steps are active or not, you go in and decide which kind of steps are kind of affected by the probability. And same with flam. And then you come back up and you kind of turn the probability down. So you're now controlling the probability that a step will trigger rather than just if it's enabled or disabled. And it's a similar deal with the flam, and that's kind of the width between the two flam notes. So those are some of the things at the kind of step level.
Wow. then there's like a kind of bus. There is like a kind of an effects bus, isn't there?
Yeah, sure. So like, unfortunately, as I say, this is a demo version of the firmware. So even though they have been designed and kind of written together, there are some slight tweaks to do with the fact that the accent kind of circuitry is slightly different on the 909 to the way it is on the 808, and we've kept much of that the same in order to kind of not deviate too much from the sounds. So it's a global accent on the 808 and on the 909 it's not. So as part of the pot scanning, long story short, the pot scanning is disabled on that for the cut off. But I can certainly tell you about it. The Wave Designer is a bus that you can route things to. So you can route any of the voices to the Wave Designer, and then you've got your ability to control the kind of attack, really punchiness of the circuit.
Yeah, nice.
Or the kind of sustain. And then enable the filter on and off in 2 modes, high pass and low pass.
Cool.
So that's the kind of effects. Yeah.
Wow.
And then one of the other things that we kind of worked on as well was like the kind of song and pattern, and that for me was really where the original 808s and 909s kind of fell down, was the ability to get something going, one pattern, and then change to another one, and kind of keep a set, kind of progressing live.
It's very clunky.
Yeah. So the pattern mode is kind of like, obviously Ableton changed the game when they did all kind of pattern launching and stuff, and we wanted to bring a little bit of that kind of pattern launch kind of stuff to our unit. So you can kind of launch patterns in here, and they'll wait till they get to the end of the pattern and launch the next one.
Oh, nice.
You can build up a full song, and you can do it live. You can edit all 16 patterns in a song without having to save. Things like you can erase them and save them and copy them to and from different locations without having to interrupt the actual pattern while it's running. So that was one of the things of the original units as well. You had to stop to do your edit and then bring it back. So you can do all of that whilst it's running without interrupting the workflow.
And like the 808 as well, we've got a full complement of connections on the back there.
Yeah.
Individual outs.
Yeah, individual outs. I mean, I think one of the first things that we kind of said, we wanted to put some dynamics kind of in there, as we kind of talked about. But the 808 that people are kind of familiar with on records is I think people reach for dynamics straight away. To compress the hell out of the kick drum, and it was essential that you'd be able to do that, and just tap them out and do what you want with the sounds afterwards as well,
Great. Of course, obviously MIDI and USB.
MIDI, USB, comprehensive MIDI features in there as well,
Wow. So it's when we're gonna see it?
Right. Okay. So I did mention the 808 before. The firmware for this is a few months behind the 808. As I mentioned, there's a couple of tweaks that we need to do. We're close to being really happy with the sounds now, and we're going to submit our changes for the kind of next revision of the hardware itself, which will be closer to pre-production, I guess. We're hoping to get something ready for distributors for the end of September this year. So it's a few months behind the 808. So you'll be able to get just enough time for you to save up to buy the second rendition.
Yeah. So I think, thanks so much for showing us.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
Yeah. So Dave, there's just one thing I just need you to do. Can you hold my mic?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh no, he's gone. I guess that's that.